So, all right, Colleen, the floor is yours.
Oh, we're taking this one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. I'm the last speaker. We made it. Woo! Okay. How cool are these roses, you guys? Do you see these beautiful roses? I want to start out with some. Thank you for the warm intro. Everybody stand up. Everybody just stand up. We've been sitting all day. Guys, carpe diem. Look at us in this room. Look to your left. Look to your right. These are dreamers. These are disruptors. Look at what we're doing right now. We are talking about space agriculture. We've talked about everything from psychological wellness and how to do black gold. That is, we are going to talk later, girl. That is amazing. We are talking about the future. And look at you guys in this room talking about it and dreaming about it. We are going to do it. We are doing it. So, you can sit down now. Just get that blood flowing a little bit. It's the end of the day. And then we got the movie later, and that's going to be cool. Do I have a clicker, or do I just do next slide? Oh, there's a clicker. Okay, hang on. All right. And I do, I want to start out and just say that it is a privilege to stand here at this Space Ag Conference. I have seen the most amazing, warmest hospitality at UND this entire time I have been here, and I am just so touched. And I want to thank several people. I've met a lot of really amazing people from all disciplines, but I just want to call out a couple of people real quick, and I just want to share my gratitude. Dr. Dean Krause, Dr. Ackelson, Dr. DeLeon, Dr. Chrisman, Dr. Dodge, Travis, where are you? You were here? There you are. My friend Jacob, who was here earlier. My friend Eric, who is actually doing the PhD program right now. Andrew. Jada, where are you? Thank you. Guys, it takes a village to do this, and obviously all the people in this room, we have amazing ideas. We want to foster that. We want to grow it. Okay. Here we go. So we're talking about thriving, not just surviving. Next slide, please. So a little bit about me. Andrew gave me a really warm intro. I probably don't deserve it, but I'm a director of sales of a tequila company. And so why the heck am I here? It's interesting because when we think about space, and we think about historically what we have done on these famous expeditions, we're thinking about not just survival, okay? We're talking about the humanity of it. I'm just gonna keep going up and down the stairs just to keep y'all engaged here. But I've been in the hospitality industry for over 20 years, and part of that is you think about what the needs are of your guest, right? And we think about the humanity. We think about the emotional intelligence pieces of it. And obviously on these expeditions, you see several of these expeditions, and we need the basics, right? We got down here at the bottom, right, where he's got the spear, so he's definitely thinking about some food, right? And then I love the top here on the side where we've got the astronaut, right? So this is nothing new. This is nothing new. Next slide, please. All right, so this is my favorite. We're talking about science fiction to science fact. I love science fiction. I'm a space nerd. And I love that, and I celebrate that because you know why? It's because you're getting creative, and the sky is not the limit. And you're coming up with audacious ideas, right? You think about fiction, you think about pop culture, you think about film, right? We're going to see a film tonight about that. There's so many. And we look at that and we go, okay, that's inspiration, and we turn it into science fact, right? And we are currently doing that, right? Next slide, please. Look at this. We talked about this. I will say thank you to all the people that have spoken prior, because you've made my talk really straightforward, because we were talking about a lot of this stuff already, right? We're not just dreaming of going to Mars or to the moon. We're doing it. We're doing it. It's reality. It's so awesome, right? And so then we look at other things that we are doing. Some of these are real pictures, you guys. Of course, down here I've got to have a little bit of a bar, okay? That's just my little piece of it. Next slide, please. And so when we look at science fiction to science fact, right? Again, looking at the reality right now, I'm on a board of advisors for a company called Cecelia.AI, which is an AI bartender, world's first. And then, of course, you probably recognize these shows, right? We've got For All Mankind and The Expanse. And a lot of I would challenge you that if there's any sort of science fiction book or movie or show, I challenge you to find a scene that whatever of the series that doesn't have some sort of meeting place or bar or camaraderie that goes on in any of this, right? Because we need it because we're human. Next slide, please. So I had the opportunity, I finished a great program at Thunderbird School of Global Management in Space Leadership, Business, and Policy. And while I was there, I had the opportunity to work on a program that I was working on with Commander Terry Virts. And as an astronaut, he was a wealth of information as we were looking at how do we deal with the humanness, right? And his famous quote to me was, EQ is as important as IQ for space exploration, right? This is a very busy slide. But when we look at these things, and actually the Xenia came up today, I was kind of laughing when I saw that picture, but that was grown on the ISS. And there's actually a really cool story with that where the person that was tending to it, it was like their child, right? There was an emotional connection to keep this thing alive. And I love that. I think that's so beautiful. At the top, you've got the VR. Okay, so let's talk about that. What is that about? Well, we know there's going to be latency, right? To Mars, to the moon. How do we get around that? We can't just sit there and stare out of the cupola for 7 months, right? Maybe there's a recorded message from your partner or your children, and you get to watch it at the end of your day, right? Or a picture of your house, or like, I'm coming home with the groceries and I'm just checking in. How much would that brighten your day if you're out in this very hostile, very deadly environment? That means a lot, right? And then, of course, in the middle, you've got this idea of camaraderie, of coming togetherness. And we all know this feeling. I was having some great conversations the last couple of days. We all know what we felt like during COVID, right? We were separate. There was unprecedented rates of depression because we were separate. And everybody probably remembers when they were able to safely come back together with their families and their friends, right? We need that. We need that. And when you talk to astronauts or even spaceflight participants, they will tell you that that is the success of the mission, is that togetherness of a high-performing team working together, right? And how do you build that? Community, right? Psychological well-being. And then again, down here, it's, you need some personal time. You need space to process. That is part of that psychological well-being. You're processing really, really big things. And then, of course, at the top, music. How amazing was that music today? Can we give another round of applause? Because that was so beautiful. That was like the coolest thing. This is a multidisciplinary industry. It really is. We need all perspectives to come to the table. I am not a scientist or an engineer. So far from it. But I have a seat at the table to give a different perspective, which I love, right? We need to have every perspective to solve really, really hard problems, right? Next slide, please. Oh, good. Here we go. All right, so, and I thought this was appropriate with the Thanksgiving is upon us, right? I want to continue the conversation. We have much to discuss. much to explore. And everyone in this room is a part of that. I mean, it's the coolest thing to look out in this crowd and see all these people. I mean, the last guy, love him. You know, he's like, you gotta have passion. You gotta get out there, and failure is not an option. You just keep going, right? It's hard, we know that. But if you wanna connect with me, you can scan that QR code. Let's continue the conversation. Thank you again for having me. It's been an honor.